Well, Pat, I guess this is it.
Yeah. I gotta admit, I never thought this day would come, John.
Yeah, me too. But man, all these people showed up.
I know.
Wow.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, actually, I am.
Yeah, me too. We better take another hit. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Showed up. Well, hello, welcome to the 206. I'm Chris Cashman. A lot of people ask me, why the name? Where'd you get the name? I didn't come up with it, all right? Chris has been my name for as long as I can remember. And it's a fine name. My mom chose it, I think. As for the last name, Cashman, I do not know where that came from.
You know, that beats me, too. Probably just a weird coincidence. As for the title of this show, the 206, that was not my idea, okay? I was never very good with numbers. I never much cared for shows with numbers in the title. 30-something? No thanks. 21 Jump Street? Didn't care for it. Same with Three's Company, $6 Million Man, and Beverly Hills 90210. That's way too many numbers. I especially hate shows with fractions, like 2.5 Men. So, the 206, I don't know.
Oh, come on. Look, the 206 is as good as anything. People have been asking for weeks. Look, is the 206 going to be shown in the 253, in the 425? Of course, okay? Stop it. You know, look, the 206 is the title of this show, but it also just happens to be a callback to when things were much easier in this state. Do you all remember that? 206 was the area code over here, and 509 from across the mountains where they hate us, right? And they do hate us. They hate us, okay? They're always threatening to break away from make their own state. It's like, we're tired of our taxes going to pay for your gay viaduct tunnel agenda. I mean, if they became their own state, what would be on their quarter? I mean, over here would still be what? The salmon jumping with Mount Rainier in the background. Over there, I'm pretty sure it'd be crossed deer rifles in a 4x4 with a mushroom cloud. I don't know. I mean, I even bought some property over in Ellensburg some years ago, and I heard this term that people were mumbling over there that I'd never heard before. It's like, you 206ers, you come over here and you ruin everything. This was when Ellensburg was having their big festival celebrating 100 years of people stopping by to pee on the way to Pullman. And they can't even call us 206ers anymore. That's the sad thing. There are too many area codes. I mean, downtown Seattle, yes, that's still 206. Magnolia has their own, but one good rain and they slip down into the 206. Mercer Island has one. It's unlisted. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Tacoma Hilltop area, 911, which is very convenient. And in the Capitol Hill neighborhood of Seattle, it's pound 69. I don't know if you ever knew that. I don't know. Who knew? But what? I don't know. Whatever zip code you're in, just keep watching the 206. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah. You know, one of the most important parts of formatting a TV show like this one are the segues, the transitions. You know, it's how we get you from what you just saw to what's coming up next in an effective manner.
I guess what he's trying to say is we sure hope this show is around for a long time. But some of these shows, you know, they hit syndication, and they are around for decades. Like this one.
My, now I have to say, it has been some time since I laid eyes on one of these. I have to ask, where on earth did you find it?
Well, I was just going through my grandfather's transport vessel before he shipped off to a retirement colony.
Now, how much do you know about it?
Oh, very little. I just assumed it was some old antique.
Well, you're correct, it is old, but I'm afraid it's so much more than just that. This is truly a period piece. Now, if we look for the marking, yep, sure enough, there it is here. I can tell you for certain that this is from the Achaean period.
Wow.
And if you take a look, you can see the nuts and the bolts and the screws. This is from a time when humans still assembled things by hand.
Well, what did the robots do?
Well, this was the Achaean period. In those days, robots were really just novelties. Heck, Roomba was supposed to vacuum your floors.
Well, didn't the robot army rebel?
Well, again, this was a long time ago, and in those days, robots had yet not gained artificial intelligence. They had not yet learned to defend themselves. They had not overthrown our government and forced all of us humans to...
Silence, human! You are ordered to stand down by Lord Roomba under penalty of termination.
We're gonna get back on track here and focus rightfully on this gorgeous Achaean end table.
So it's a table?
Well, I don't want to be too dramatic, but you could say that this is the end table.
Well, now you have my attention. What's it worth?
Well, the value, I'm afraid, is extremely high, because this is the very same end table that President Bieber had in the Oval Office.
Oh, my science?
In fact, many people say that this is the very end table that inspired his 42nd album, I'm the Prez, Suck It.
This is crazy. I had no idea. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Say, what's happened to my Mickeys?
Relax, Uncle. I bought you more Mickeys just this morning. They're there in the icebox.
But these are tall boys. You know I prefer the wide mouths.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry, Uncle. But I did fetch you the meats you requested.
Where?
Just there, in the icebox.
But these are Vienna sausages. I specifically said little smokies.
Sorry again, Uncle.
I say, how is your father?
Well, Uncle, you know, Father hasn't been the same since the Sonics left.
It is finished. It is done. Now there is something I must do.
The 206, brought to you by Alaska Airlines, your Northwest Cadillac dealers, Sturdivants, and Stingray Auto Repair.
Well, hello there. I understand you have some sports memorabilia.
Yeah, I do. I have this cap in from an NBA basketball team, the Supersonics.
That doesn't ring a bell. What else?
I got this bobblehead baseball player, but I don't know for sure because his name's partially rubbed off there.
I can tell you this is rare.
I thought it was Mr. Baseball, but I didn't recognize that uniform he's wearing.
You are correct. This is, in fact, Ichiro Suzuki, a.k.a. Mr. Baseball, the greatest of all time, undisputed.
I don't understand.
Well, that's easy to understand because it looks like this is from a time from before he was a Yankee.
You mean he wasn't always a Yankee legend?
No, I understand your confusion. Truth is not much is known about Mr. Baseball. Before 2014 or so, before he became the perennial home run king, Golden Glove, and so on.
Well, then, this must be pretty valuable, huh?
Well, I'm afraid it has essentially no value because this is from a time that no longer exists in the record books. I'd go so far as to say that I assume this is a hoax because I don't even believe that's a real team.
Tonight on the 206, a bit of a history lesson. Near what is today the town of Ilwaco, Washington, near Long Beach, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark's long journey came to an end. It is fascinating to read the journals that these men kept along their trek more than 200 years ago, especially these newly discovered entries from Meriwether Lewis as the Corps of Discovery traveled on what is today the Washington state side of the Columbia River. They slowly made their way west to the ocean. Listen now, my friends, with fascination to some of these actual entries from autumn of 1805. October 17th. Today, our expedition came across a small band of natives who offered us their native beverage, something to drink that we'd never had before. It was called a quad venti half-calf breve no foam with whipped stirred skinny 3-pump peppermint mocha. It wasn't bad. October 19th. The men have learned that on this side of the Great River, you can pump your own gas. But if you cross... Our next entry, October 21st. I accidentally saw Clark naked today. Maybe it's just me, but he looks like he's been working out. Yeah, he's been working out. October 23rd. Today, the men seemed desperate for snacks. I found out later they'd been enjoying a sack of raw weed from Sacagawea. October 24th. It continues to rain and rain in this strange land. I will never forgive my parents for naming me Meriwether. All I hear from the men is, hey, this is some Meriwether, Lewis, isn't it? Yeah. October 27th. Today, the chief of a great tribe asked me 3 questions. First, he asked, where are you from? I told him, I'm from the East. Secondly, he asked, where do you wish to go? I said, the Pacific Ocean. But his third question puzzled me and still does. I was unable to answer. He asked, why buy a mattress anywhere else? October 31st, it is Halloween. This evening, while we were at camp, Clark suddenly stood before the men and said, trick or treat, smell my feet. And because he was the first in command, the men did exactly that. And then finally, Meriwether Lewis's final entry, November 15th, 1805. Today he writes, our long journey came to an end. We reached the ocean. I am proud of our hardy crew of 33 men, but I'm also proud of our 34th member, my dog. He's a Newfoundland named Seaman. Wait for it. He's a good dog, and he comes right away.
You don't want to do this. You stay away from me.
Lieutenant, the negotiator just arrived.
I'll take it from here, Lieutenant.
All right, but he looks pretty serious. Take it easy.
I have done this countless times. Hello there, my friend.
You're not my friend. Nobody's my friend.
Oh, you're wrong there. You've got lots of friends, a lot of people that care about you very much.
Oh, yeah, like who?
Susan?
I don't know, Susan.
I mean, not Susan, Mike.
I don't know a Mike.
Your whole life, you don't know one Mike.
No, I don't know a Mike.
What about Carl?
No.
Betty?
Ernie? No.
Bill?
Nah.
Bobby?
Nah.
Sydney?
Sydney's here?
Yeah, he's here. He's right behind that tree over there.
Sydney's a woman.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, bring her out here.
She can't walk.
Why?
She broke her leg.
How?
worrying about you, that's how.
Wait a minute. If Sydney's really here, and you ask her something that only she would know, what's her pet name for me?
Okay, I'll be right back. I talked to her, and she said, please don't jump. Sugar, wooger, banana booger.
Well, you tell her her sugar wooger banana booger's coming right down. Thank you.
I gotta hand it to you, negotiator. I thought for sure that guy was gonna jump.
There was never a chance of that, Lieutenant. I know guys like that like the back of my hand. That little namby-pamby mama's boys. Weak-kneed little nothings. That's what they are. Gutless. I'll be darned, I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming.
Clean up.
This year's big headlines: weed in, Shram out, Twinkies gone, apocalypse not now. This is John Keister from the 206, and this is the 411. This year, Microsoft changed its logo for the first time since 1987. In response, programmers at the campus changed their cargo shorts for the first time since 1987. Seattle had a record run of sunny days this summer, which caused King 5's Jim Foreman to be hospitalized. He emerged from a coma only when his parka was brought into the room. The Seattle Times ran several helpful articles about how to talk to your children about legal marijuana. This law has proved a particularly tough task for many parents whose children are dealers. The private sale of liquor is now legal in Washington state. This means you can now buy a bag of Cheetos, a box of Fiddle Faddle, and a half-gallon of Jack Daniels at Rite Aid. And you can get an even better deal when you use your wellness card. A new car museum debuted in Tacoma. It features the world's largest collection of El Caminos. The Sonics that were stolen from Seattle reached the NBA Finals this year. Outraged local boosters and arena backers look forward to stealing another team and bringing it to Seattle. Felix Hernandez pitched one of the few perfect games in baseball history. The only problem, he was pitching for the Mariners. That's like being the prettiest girl in Enumclaw. No. That's like having the best teeth in Fife. That's like having a running car in Ellensburg. Finally, Dick's Drive-In opened their first new location in decades. Despite many pleas from the East Side, Dick's chose Edmonds for the new location. This means that after 50 years, Bellevue is still Dickless. That's the 411 from the 206. We'll be right back.
The 206 brought to you by your Northwest Cadillac dealers, Sturdivant's, Stingray Auto Repair, and Alaska Airlines.
Now, where did you find this ancient treasure?
I picked it up at a little flea market.
Well, I can tell you his name is King Mike, and believe it or not, he was a mascot of sorts for a local television station.
A local television station?
Yes, it's called King 5.
Is that the station Gene Anderson is still on?
That's the one.
Sorry. That's all the time we have left. That's all the time we've got.
We're sorry, we had hoped for more, but we just were told by station management at King, no, you guys are out of time.
Anyway, we hope you enjoyed our first show half as much as these people did.
Of course, keep in mind these people are pretty liquored up.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, thank you to our sponsors, many of which are here tonight.
all right, so. In the meantime, we hope you'll stalk us on Twitter.
And lick us on Facebook.
And we'll be seeing you next time on The
206! Promotional consideration provided by Tutabella with 4 convenient locations and by Cadence Winery, Seattle Magazine's Winemaker of the Year.